lost the weight, so obviously he's not going to try and knock me out or like try and bang me out in like the first couple rounds. And obviously he's not going to want to have to tear up with me because you can't do that for 10 rounds.
And I think that's because like he has the mentality that, okay, cool, I'm 20 years old, he can like old mad me. So
you prove them wrong.
I'm giving him advice which I shouldn't be.
I ain't frustrated at media, I was frustrated people talking shit, and then when they come and see him in shape and different mindset, then they start changing their minds and opinion. I'm like, yo, I have the same energy, bro. I have the same energy. When I'm 118, 120 kilos, I have the same energy, because now...
You know, this is... And plus, remember, Dillian apparently said this, if he gets beat, he's going to retire from this.
Is that what he said?
Yeah, well, rumour. But we never know. But I want Dillian to win it.
73-6-1. That's crazy. I knew he was fighting 15 rounds.
Don't let the bag swing too much. And sometimes when it goes by, throw a body shot.
Moses Itauma versus Dillian Whyte. And the talk right now is all about one thing, a ruthless knockout plan. Itauma isn't just looking to win, he's coming to make a statement, and that statement might just end with Whyte flat on the canvas.
I will tell him that my age has got nothing to do with my fighting ability.
Moses Itauma has been making a name for himself as one of the most exciting young heavyweights in the game. Still just 19 years old, he's already been moving fast, building a reputation for ending fights in style. And when he talks about Dillian Whyte, there's no sense of holding back. Itauma has hinted that his approach this time is going to be ruthless. No waiting around, no slow build, just all-out pressure to break Whyte down.
I think it's going to be a complete different version of Dillian. I reckon he's going to try and box me. Because obviously he's lost the weight, so obviously he's not going to try and knock me out or like try and bang me out in like the first couple rounds. And obviously he's not going to want to have to tear up with me because you can't do that for 10 rounds. So I think he's going to try like outbox me.
From what's been said, this isn't going to be a cautious, play it safe kind of game plan. Itauma is preparing for a fight where he's not just outpointing Whyte, he's looking to stop him, and stop him in explosive fashion. And that's not just hype, there's a lot of confidence coming out of his camp right now.
So for example, one of my sparring partners, Agron, he went to me, he's like, bro, when I come to this camp, I thought I can lace it all over you. But it's like, when you're in the ring, it's like you hit me and then you move and I go to hit you and you're not there and whatnot. But like for a 20-year-old, like this is experience of a guy that's had whatever, like 50 fights, whatnot. And he's like, bro, but I can't do anything. And I think that's because like he has the mentality that, okay, cool, I'm 20 years old, he can like old mad me. So
you prove them wrong.
I'm giving him advice which I shouldn't be.
On the other side, Dillian Whyte is no stranger to high-pressure fights. He's been in wars with some of the biggest names in the division: Joshua, Fury, Povetkin, Parker, and he's known for being tough, gritty, and dangerous right until the very end. But there are questions about where he is in his career right now.
I ain't frustrated at media, I was frustrated at people talking shit, and then when they come and see him in shape and different mindset, then they start changing their minds and opinion. I'm like, yo, I have the same energy, bro. I have the same energy. When I'm 118, 120 kilos, I have the same energy, because now I'm light and I look like I'm in shape. Then now everybody's like, oh yeah. I'm like, yo, come on, man. You know, I don't need to be 100% to win some fights, because I'm a fighter, I know what to fight. He's had more amateur fights than me and all of this other shit. You know, he's doing what he's meant to know. And one thing is, he's got the what's the word I'm looking for? The ignorance of inexperience. You know, I didn't say it right, but I'm tired.
It has been widely reported that some people, including Derek Chisora, think that if Whyte loses this one, especially in bad fashion, it could be the end of the road. Retirement talk has been floating around. Chisora has even predicted that Itauma will win this fight, saying the young gun's speed and freshness could be too much for Whyte. That's a big statement considering Chisora has been in there with Whyte twice and knows exactly what kind of fighter he is.
You know, this is... And plus, remember, Dillian apparently said this, if he gets beat, he's going to retire from this.
Is that what he said?
Yeah, well, rumour. But we never know. But I want Dillian to win it.
So you want Dillian to win, but who do you think will win?
Dillian.
You think Dillian will win?
Yeah, Dillian.
How?
Huh?
How do you think he gets it done?
I don't know, but he has to win. Either with a rugby tackle. I would love them. I love Moses. See, I love Moses, yeah? But you have to understand, I've shared the ring with Dillian twice. Yeah. Yeah, we've sparred so many rap. You know, that old school, that hurrah, old school, you understand?
Yeah.
I don't want the young buck to win. Yeah, I don't want Moses to win, but I want Dillian to win because it's old school.
Moses can come again.
But Whyte's trainer isn't panicking. In fact, his side seems to think Itauma's approach might be exactly what they want. They've pointed out that Moses has fought a certain way in his last 2 fights. Aggressive, but against opponents who didn't have the same level of experience and ring smarts as Whyte. If Itauma comes at Whyte too hard, too early, they believe the veteran can use that against him, slow the pace, and make it a long, grinding fight.
Definitely more motivated. His attitude is totally different than this fight than it was for the previous 2, and I think that's because you know, it's a different situation, different. You know, we got a young man, fast, athletic. You know what I mean? Can punch. You know what I mean? They're not giving Dillian a shot. You know what I mean? And I think that gives him that extra motivation.
How much of a surprise is it to you? As you said, a lot of people are somewhat writing Dillian off going into this fight, despite his past experiences and successes in the division. How much of a surprise is it to you that that's been the case?
I'm not surprised at all. You know, I mean, you know, whenever boxing gets a new face.
There's also the mental side. Whyte's camp is confident that no matter how hyped up Itauma is, stepping into the ring with someone who's been in there with world champions is a completely different kind of pressure.
Me personally, I saw that he has a very good boxing IQ. I think it's very underestimated. And I think that comes from sometimes when he gets hit, right away he wants to go to war, like everything goes out the window. You know what I mean? But you know, but when he's thinking and he's got his mind right, I love his IQ.
But Buddy's cool, man. But listen, Buddy's is a great fighter himself. You know, I was 2-time world champion. Then what he wanted to do in his career, I think. What's your record, Buddy, again?
73-6-1.
That's crazy. I knew he was fighting 15 rounds.
Don't let the bag swing too much. And sometimes when it goes by, throw a body shot.
Buddy McGirt, the man guiding Itauma for this one, is fully confident in his skills. Interestingly, McGirt has said there's no need to even study Whyte's old fights. For him, this isn't about overanalyzing tape. It's about preparing Itauma to be the best version of himself on fight night. McGirt believes that if Itauma fights his fight, stays sharp, and keeps that ruthless edge, Whyte won't be able to handle it.
I think I saw that you said you haven't seen Moses box before, and you don't watch your opponent's box. But I don't believe you, buddy. I don't believe you.
I swear to you, I will not lie to you.
Why? Why not? Because I understand when fighters say that, but I've never heard a trainer say it before.
When someone goes to war, right? Sometimes you don't have time to study your enemy, correct?
Correct.
So you gotta make adjustments. When Hannibal conquered Europe, how did they expect Hannibal to get from Africa?
Yeah, but
they expected him to come across on the boats, correct?
Yep.
What did Hannibal do? He fooled their ass. He came through the Alps. They didn't prepare for that.
At the grand arrivals, things got even more interesting. Former world champion Darren Barker had a close-up view of both fighters and came away saying Itauma's presence is something special. Barker described him as calm, but with an underlying intensity, like he knows exactly what he's about to do. Whyte, meanwhile, looked focused, but maybe carrying the weight of knowing this fight could define the rest of his career. He said, "I like celebrating this kind of talent. I think this is a test, a very decent test. We saw McKean in against Filip Hrgovic, and it took him 12 rounds to get the job done. The man is ridiculous. The way he dispatches his opponents, it's done with so much intelligence, speed, accuracy, and ease. It's all in a day's work," he added. But he's in there with a guy who goes in with a lot of pride. We've seen Dillian Whyte. He's trimmed down. He's taking this very, very seriously. I think he's annoyed, and I don't mind an annoyed Dillian Whyte going into this fight. I think he's got to grab this fight by the scruff of the neck and show him who's boss. Some are predicting that this fight could turn into absolute trench warfare, a battle fought at close range where toughness, conditioning, and mental strength will decide the winner. That kind of fight is where Whyte has made his name, digging deep in slugfests. But there's also the belief that if Itauma drags Whyte into exchanges early, his speed and combinations could overwhelm the older man.
If Moses is as good as what we think he is, he gets the job done on the 16th of August.
I know Moses, I've seen a lot of him, and yeah, he's a knockout specialist as well, isn't he? So.
He is, mate. So yeah, people that have not heard his name, you will be hearing his name a lot more. He's 20 years of age. Really? You can't believe it. It's like you know, Mike Tyson had that thing about him way back when, and you're saying, is he too young? You know, don't push him too soon. But you go, sometimes they're that good, you have to let them go. Yeah. And I think this is like a coming of age fight for Moses in many ways. Like I say, Frank's taken that gamble to say, look, putting him in, Dillian's a world-class, dangerous heavyweight, but maybe just past his best, and that's that calculate. Yeah. The excitement of the fight is, we don't really know, like, just how good or what Dillian's got left.
Dean Whyte has also thrown his prediction into the mix too. Bacol sees Itauma's youth, speed, and power as major problems for Whyte. Despite that, he's leaning towards Dillian Whyte winning this fight, saying the older man might just be too much and too experienced for Itauma to keep up with.
He's the new kid on the block, the kid with the thunder, big punch in southpaw. He's predicted to be the leading boy of the heavyweight division. So, I mean, look, it's a crossroads fight. Obviously, as you could look at it, they're saying they're hoping that the baton will be passed from him beating Dillian. I think Dillian's got other ideas, and Dillian's a man that's never should be written off. It could. I think it might be too soon for Moses. I think Moses is on a great run. I think Dillian, you know, if he had more momentum, it would be. I could probably stamp my authority on the decision a bit more.
And he's not alone in thinking that. More and more people are starting to talk about this as a potential breakout moment for Itauma. The fight that takes him from being one to watch to being a real player in the heavyweight scene.
And physically he's on, mentally he's on. This is now, when it was first mentioned or announced, everyone was like, oh, Moses in 2 or 3. All of a sudden, those same people are like, you never know, you know, so it's changing. The mood's changing, and we're only, Wednesday? Yeah. What happens when we get to Friday? Anything could happen.
For Whyte, the stakes couldn't be higher. This isn't just about another payday or another fight. It's about proving he still belongs at the top level. A loss here, especially by knockout, would be hard to come back from. But a win, that changes everything. Beating one of the most hyped young fighters in the country would put Whyte right back in the mix for big fights, and possibly even a world title shot down the line.
A sort of a middle ground, you know, there's plenty of fighters that call themselves warriors that refuse to take the fight, but nobody gets onto them. So I think the important thing here is you have to worry about yourself in this life. You have to worry about, you know, your career and where you want to go in life, and how you want to be remembered, and stick to your guns. You know, it's one of his pillars. So it's one of his pillars to want to fight the best. And he puts that energy out there. So when the best come knocking, you know, he's ready to take it on.
Style-wise, this fight is fascinating. Itauma brings youthful energy, fast hands, and a willingness to take risks to get the knockout. Whyte has the experience, the power, and the ability to fight ugly if he needs to. If Itauma starts fast and gets Whyte in trouble early, it could be over quickly. But if Whyte survives those early rounds, slows the pace, and lands his own big shots, it could flip the fight completely.
Fast, just looked like he needed rounds, and I wonder if that inactivity will be a problem. He's trained really hard for this. He looks in fantastic shape, Dillian, but he is 37 now. I think he's got to withstand the early storm. We know what Itauma's like. Counterpuncher, beautiful IQ, his feet are so good, and if he sees the opening, he'll go for it. But I think if Dillian survives that sort of first 4-5, then it starts to become, fascinating. Let's see where Itauma goes from there, what he's like on the back foot when he's backed up. You know, will he get caught? If he does, how's he going to take it? I love the fact that your AJs, your Furies, your Okolis, your Joe Joyces, everybody, Usyk, are all talking about it.
There's also the question of mental pressure. Itauma has never been in a fight with this much attention, this much expectation. Whyte has. He's been in stadium fights, world title fights, and huge domestic clashes. That experience could be the difference if things get tough there. But Itauma's side is confident that pressure won't be a problem. They believe his mindset, his preparation, and his natural confidence are exactly what's needed for a fight like this.
Moses Itauma, his first headline event, takes on the body snatcher Dillian Whyte. You first on this. How good is Moses? I mean, you must hear the stories that everyone seems to hear about the sparring and all that. How good is Moses when you're watching him?
I've seen Moses, and I've said this from the beginning, from when he was 18, 19. This guy, he's it.
He's it.
He is it. He is it. This is my opinion. It's boxing. I know it's pressure and all these kind of things or whatever, but he's it.
Why?
He's got skill set, fast hands, footwork. From what I've seen, he's got a chin. Not that you need to be getting hit with these wild shots, because clearly you've done something wrong if you got hit.
As fight night gets closer, the talk is getting louder. Some see this as the passing of the torch, the young lion taking out the old warrior. Others think Whyte's grit, toughness, and experience will shut down all the hype. One thing's for sure, if Itauma's ruthless knockout plan is real, we're in for fireworks. And if Whyte can survive it, we might be looking at one of the most dramatic heavyweight battles of the year.
I know any heavyweight has enough force, has enough power, has enough pressure to cause damage to me. So that's why it's just the safest way to not get tested. If I hit Dillian Whyte with a good shot, I'm not gonna be like, oh, let me ease up here and then get the rounds in.
So here we are, a fight with huge stakes, two very different career stories, and a ton of bad intentions in the air. Itauma is coming to make a statement. Whyte is fighting to keep his career alive. The predictions are in, the game plans are set, and soon there'll be no more talk. Just two men in the ring, and one of them walking away with a massive win. Smash that like button, drop your winner in the comments, and subscribe to Ring Rivalry for more Fight Night Fire.